Hello, everybody. How is everyone doing today? So I'm gonna get right into it. We're gonna be building Gundam Maxter today. Uh, Before we get into it, though, thank you to those that have come by the past several streams, and to any that have followed, thank you as well. I do believe this should be everything. I'm gonna jump in another chat. Give me 1 second. Let's see. That should be good there. Hold on. No. There we go. Was responding to a message. So, Gundam Maxter here. He is Neo America's shining star in Mobile Fighter G. Piloted by Chibity Crockett. And he has one of his signature things is that the two these things up on his shoulders, they can come off to be boxing gloves. He also has a surfboard and should have pistols to go with him too. Or laser pistols, I should say. Everything Gundam related is laser based. So he should have twin laser pistols. Alright, so of course, Gundam Maxter's guide and everything to go with him. Go ahead and move that box over to the side as well. There we go. So as I did last time, I'm going to open up the bags, go ahead and have them ready. So how is everyone liking the background music? I can't get it any lower without changing stuff in OBS. I'm hoping it's not too loud, not too soft. Alright, so let's see. The first two sheets. Oh, there's our sticker sheet. I'll put that over here on my mouse pad. Looks like this is E2, that's blue. That actually has a part of his surfboard on it. And I think part of his boxing gloves. This one is the A sheet. That's A right there. It's got some gold. It's got a piece of his chest piece. Is the twin tails on his helmet. Part of his body right there. Alright, let's see what's in the next couple. Alright, looks like we've got colored sheets for colored this is F2. These are see-through red, similar to how Rose had see-through blue parts. Looks like there's going to be some see-through red on this one. This is B sheet. Looks like it's got his hands, some good parts of the body, so that'll be useful. This is C2. A few of the white pieces. You can see some leg pieces there. Ooh, this next one's an interesting bag. So this one has a clear plastic in it, but it's purple. If I'm remembering, that's one of his special moves. I don't know if it's meant to be his... because he's got two special moves. Let me make sure on that real quick. Gundam Maxter. Gundam Maxter. So he's got two special moves. Yeah, so the pistols are called Gigantic Magnums. Then he's got the part that goes over his knuckles to do fighting knuckle. Glove, shield, surfboard. So this is either Cyclone Punch or Burning Punch. By the way that it's twisting, I'm assuming Cyclone Punch. And honestly, makes sense to me. F1, so I'm going to put that over here with the other color ones. This blue sheet is E1. Okay, so this matches up with the blue sheet we had previously, E2. So we'll put it together. This one is D1, and it's got some of the red bits. And the next one, let's see what's in here. D2, another red sheet, and C1, another white sheet. Alright, so those are to go together. And then finally, the rest of the clear red plastic bits. As you can see with this, it's got his base station, which we will connect up with Rose. Of course, we'll get a get a solid picture of him for Discord and for Twitter. But yeah, his base station, a solid connector, which will probably go into Dragons, since Rose's is already connected. All the pieces for his thing where he's going to be doing that. And of course, like I said, stickers. So let's start off by finding the first section. Here we go. Alright, so we're going to be building the body first. Of course, we have mold line remover again, tweezers, knife over there, our clippers, and everything we need. So, I don't know how quickly I'm going to need the D or the C sheets. At least this first part, it looks like I only need something from C1. So, I'll keep the C sheets rather readily available. I'll put D over here on top of the clear plastics. So B, the A sheet, and then we'll move the E sheets over to my left side. Alright, so we need B and A first, so we'll throw this here. 2 B12s and A27. So the B12s are right here. So we'll just get them clipped out. And I don't know if I'm gonna fully checking for sprue. I don't know if I'll complete it today or not. Last time I did go all the way through the Gundam build process. But I also noticed, at least myself, I was kind of watching the screen a lot, trying to make sure that I was showing everything. Okay, so there's the two B's, and then we need A27, and it seems like A27's this back one back here in the dark blue. And this camera doesn't have like a zoom out function, which kind of sucks. And I would buy a new camera to fix it up, but just kind of upgraded the keyboard. So, but yeah, so we've got everything for the first step. Looks like it's gonna be like this, and then each of these are to go in like this. So they go inside. Ooh, wait. Okay, yeah. Okay, I got it right the first time on that other one. Alright. One of the things I need to look and see if I've got somewhere is maybe a USB desk light. Because even with the overhead lights, This is a bit hard on the eyes at times. Alright. I think I have one around here somewhere, but I'm not sure. I'll look before we go to Dragon. I'll look again. So next is B25. It's right here. Got a little bit of flash excess right there. There we go. So now the instructions. Okay, so it shows. It's really hard to see like usual. All right, it's clicked in there. Now we need A26. Again, right beside where the last one was. So let's go ahead and just snip that off of here. But how has everyone's day been so far? I know mine's been rather filled with rain. Haven't had any reunions, so no reunions in the falling rain, but for anyone that doesn't know, that was a reference to one of the episodes. Alright, so we've got that part. So now we need A16 and 17, but we also need C1. So let's grab C1's sheet. We need C1 10. So 10 is right here by my finger. Even the white sheets are a bit harder to see on. Okay, so there's that. And then we need 16 and 17 of A. Ah, they're over here, these dark blue bits. Okay, so that was 17, that's on this side. And 16 is on this side. Alright, so now we grab the white piece. Looking at it, it goes right here in the chest. 17 comes in. Looks like it slots it in right there. And I've just noticed a bit of flash on the front of the body. So we'll just clean that up a little bit. Feel the other side, it's pretty good. Similar to the other one, just slide it on in there. It's looking good. So next we gotta use A19, A1, and B. Okay, so A19's right here. There's A19. A1 it says? Ah, it's up here in the yellow. So one of the things you can do, which I'm not the best at, is you can technically pop these sections apart. But I'm not the best at it. So there's A1, and then we need B24. I'm gonna just go pre-look at the sheet. Okay, B24 is right underneath my pointer finger there. Yeah, definitely need to get a desk lamp that's a bit closer. Okay, so using A19 as the start point, looks like this, like so, and this has it to where the P, it looks kind of like a P going towards that side. And I probably should have put that on before the yellow bit just to make sure it got on a bit easier. So we'll just take that off. And okay. Ah, there it is. Didn't fully slide on. There we go. Now we'll pop this guy back in. There we go. And then this gets covered up by A20. So we need the A sheet again. And A20 is down here. It's a dark blue again. Oh, I just noticed there's also a few green pieces on this. I forgot about those. Alright, so now we just snap those together. Get a good audible snap when it happens. And this just clicks in right here. And there is one more part, A3, which is this chest piece right here. Now this one, just line up the dots on the body and click it in. And there you go. Alright, looks like there's still a bit more. So we'll switch the page. Come on. Fold a little bit. Alright, there we go. So next we need A6 and A23. So we're still using the A sheet. A6 is probably up in the yellows. Actually, I can't see it. Ah, it's this piece right here that my middle finger's under. It's very, very fragile looking. So we're going to be very careful with it. A6, and then it said A23. Let me look for it. Ah, it's this dark blue one right here. Again, part of it does look fragile, so we're going to be very careful with it. At the same time, 27 and 26's middle part right there just kind of broke, so we'll just take that off so that no extra sprue just randomly flies. We'll grab one of the bags and throw it in. There we go. Alright, so looks like we do this, and then it goes to the front here. Just kind of slides in there. Then we need A15, which looks to be a small part potential. Ah, it's this very tiny green part right here. That is A15. Wow. Okay, so that's gonna be Make sure very careful on this one not to lose it. Ooh. Alright, got it. And then it said we're needing a D sheet. Did I put... D is off to my right, I believe. Yep, D. So D1 is this sheet. And it says we need number 3, which is this chess piece right here. Okay, so there is some pieces that look like they could be cut, but you gotta be very careful because they're not meant to be cut. There. Alright, so now we put it like this. And it does say to cut this out pretty cleanly for the green. And it does feel pretty clean. But we're gonna see how clean I did. Maybe I didn't cut it as cleanly as I thought. It doesn't feel like it. Okay, let's try to clean this up a bit. So I'm going to bring it up to where I can see it a bit closer. Just use the edge of my cutters to kind of scrape. There we go. One side seemed pretty clean, but the other side really felt like it wasn't. Okay, so now let's try putting that back in. There we go. It's placed in. Then we drop it because apparently I'm a klutz with these pieces. We just fit this in here. Then it does say there will be a gap, so we just kind of fit it on right on the front. And as it says, there will be a gap. But it's not even wanting to click on to just stay there. I guess it's just meant to sit there. I don't know if maybe it's something with the upper pieces up here. Because it does show handle the parts slowly and carefully so they do not break. And it shows these parts right here that we slid in. Kind of looks like they move out a little bit. But either way, we got the main body and I guess the front chest piece for when he's not in boxer mode. So now we're gonna need both the sticker sheet, D1, E1, so that's one of the blue sheets. That's this one. And it looks like C1. So that's this white sheet. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna get is D4. Or D14. So looking at the sheet, it's this one over here that my pointer finger went to. Looks to be a weird kind of shape. Then we need E1. And it looks like it's number 1. So it's this one in the corner. And that is what we're going to be putting the sticker on. Sticker is probably, since it's his head, his eyes. And we'll go ahead and go to using the tweezers to get the sticker. So the sticker they put is number 1. So that is, of course, yeah, the eyes right here. and they go on this blue piece. Now, I will say to anyone that's a beginner at this, you might not figure out how they, where they go on the kits sometimes. Usually, they line up pretty well. And then, it's like we put it like this. Over on here. Let me just make sure that sticker's on there pretty firm. Yep. It's on there pretty firm. Now we need C19. So of course we need that white sheet. And 9 is this little mouth guard down here. We'll go ahead and move the sticker sheet so if we need it, it's close by. And we're going to need it immediately afterwards. I don't even know why I moved it. Oh. Alright. So. Yeah, mouth's a bit hard on some of these to get on due to the way they build the Gundams, but just kind of similar to the stickers, just kind of use something, press it in a little bit. Now that we got that, we need E13, so that's another blue piece. And I can already see it, it's this piece right here. And it needs a sticker as well. It needs sticker number 2, and oh, it needs 2 stickers. It needs number 3 on the back and number 2 towards the front. So, grab those. It's these 2 little green ones. And number 3 is even tinier than that. So, or even tinier than normal. So, we're going to start with it. Because that one I'm going to have to bring up to my face. Alright, and there's, I don't know if you can see it too well. Let me look. Yeah, you can see the slight shine of green. That is the 3 sticker. That was very hard because it is very tiny. 2 is a lot bigger. Let's kind of pat it down with the tip of that, and then just grab the head here, push it right there. Alright, the next one is E12. It's a blue piece right here. also can take my headphones off charge. They were squealing and being angry at me. Okay, so now we just fit this in right here. There we go. We got his little guard over his mouth on. So now we grab A sheet and we grab 7, which I guarantee 7's right there. It is the usual marker of a Gundam, or at least some of the main Gundams, the 2 yellow spikes. Whew. It flipped right into my hand. Knew where it needed to be. Ooh. Ah. There's a little bit of flash on that still. There. And that is Gundam Maxter's head. His head unit is done. Now it is time to work on his shoulders. Now again, this I'm gonna look. Okay, stickers are not used, so we'll put them to the side. Looks like we use E1 and D1, E2, D2, A. We use A for one piece, but mainly we're using, not this one, these two sets. So I'm going to move the C's and B away actually right now. But I am going to grab E2, put it right here, and grab D2 and put it with it, because they usually line up. So we'll put A off to the right, since it's only used for 2 parts. We'll start with the E1 D1s. So first, this is E1. We need number 9, which is down here. Okay. Put it down like that. And then D112. Alright, it's this cone right here. So now, looks like we point part of the cone to be facing up. Specifically, it says to do it like so. And it looks like it says to actually move it back like so. Which is odd, because it does still show it almost right against it. It's odd. But it says to put it like that, so we'll do it. And then this is where we need A4. Ah, it's these yellow bits right here. We'll go ahead and cut both of them out, just to have them both. Since we're going to be going back through this again with the D2, put the A4 right there beside those. Alright, so now we gotta click it in. Looks like it goes like this. click it in. Like so. Didn't really give a click, but still works. Now we need D15. So let me, okay, so 5 is this piece right here. Put it like this. Go in and just kind of, looks like, besides sliding it in here, it looks like it slides that. It's not, it's being a bit of a pain right now. It might not have went on correctly. Let me try to get this back apart. Without breaking it. Oh. Might have gotten it to move just right. Hold on. I think I got it to move just right. There's a piece in the middle there that still feels weird, but it might be meant to feel weird. Okay, so get this back on there and turn it back. Alright. Next we need D111 and E18. So 11 is this piece right here. Again, it has some pieces you don't want to snip. And the thing's guide usually tells you what not to snip. So, as long as you're following along with it, you're fine. And then E18 is this very tiny piece my middle finger's under. It's extremely tiny. Not as tiny as that sticker, but it is still a very tiny piece. There we go. Alright, so there's that piece, and then we need D114. It's down here in this corner. Alright, now let me pull the instructions a bit closer so I can look. Alright, looks like we need it like this. It's kind of, there's a little nub right here that you can, I just put the paper underneath. that is how you tell which direction it goes. And it slots in up here. And then this slots in right here. Didn't want to slot in. There we go. And it gives you kind of an idea of what they're supposed to look like. With like this little, there's a little picture right here for how it's supposed to look. Then finally, D16. I grabbed E1. I don't know why I did. D16, that's the red piece right here. Then we can put D1 and E1 over here. There we go. All of the elements of that coming together for number 1. Now we gotta do that a second time. But on E2, so we're gonna go ahead and just kind of speed run the second sheet a little bit by going ahead and having 6 ready. There's 5. 6 can go over here. I'll put it on its picture. And yeah, I know I clicked out the D2, this one a little fast, but I knew I was also going to need the cone immediately, so cone. Believe it's number 9 for E2, yeah. So just like the last one, put the funnel on, flip it back, and then grab your A4, pop it right in on A4. There we go. There's that half. Now D2 11. And we're going to need 14 here in a second, so go ahead and pop that one. Which we'll go ahead and put 14 in its place. a little bitty piece from here, which is right here, down in the corner. Now, did get a good bit of flash left on it this time. First time I did good, this time I kinda bumbled on the flash. Still flash on it. There we go. Got it that time. Where it's smooths it down a bit. Oop. Alright, then we do our usual connect in right here. It disconnected that one again. That piece does not like staying in there until you get the whole piece together, it seems. Alright, now... Ooh. That might be what's causing it. I just noticed on the red there's a bunch of flash on the nub parts. There we go. Because the other one fits so nicely. I was wondering why it wasn't wanting to be agreeable this time. There we go. And now, just snugly attach that there, and there we go. The second one. Now we get to move on to his right arm. And it looks like we start off with E1, so we'll grab it. Looks like we do go to C1, D1, and the B sheet. So E1, D1, C1, I think is what I said. Yeah, C1 for a part, and the B sheet. Alright, so the B sheet will be used here in a second. C1 is here in a little bit. D1's in a little bit. E1 is the start. So we need 6. Make sure not to create a gap when attaching it. Okay. So 6 and 7 are the first two, which are these two pieces right here. So there's 6. But we still need one more piece before we connect those together, which is 13, which is this tiny piece in the corner here. There we go. Now we look at this, and it says that this goes this goes down here, like so, and then this goes over top of everything else. It said make sure there was no gaps. No gaps. Then we need the B sheet. Oh, looks like we used the C1 sheet twice. Oh, and we do use the A sheet. Good thing the A's right there. Okay, so the B sheet we need 1 through 4. Up here. 1, 2, and then 3 and 4. 3 and 4 are right here. Okay, so we need 1, 2. Okay, there's 1. 2, and then 3. Well, that was 4 actually, but okay, 4, and then we'll jump back to 3. That one on 3 got a little bit of flash in that last cut spot. Alright, so 3 looks like it's saying it wants it to be... Okay, just making sure. Okay, so it wants it like this. Here. 4, it wants it like so. And then have 1 covered up. And you want to keep it like so. And it and this piece will be going together on a C15. Okay. Alright. The music's feeling a bit weird, so I'm going to change it. Give me 1 second. So this is supposed to be no copyright gaming music? Not sure about it though. But C15. 5 is right here. That one's got some pretty thick supports on it. Okay, so then when we get it, looks like we put it like so. And this goes in the top part. Yeah, right here. And then this comes in right here. Then we need C16, which was same spot. Alright, that last cut got a lot. The first cut and the last cut got a lot of flash left over on them. The last cut even more than the first one, though. Let me grab my mold line remover. Go. There we go. But that's what they mean by being gentle. Just kind of don't need something with a cutting edge. Just need something to push on. And slow and gentle with it. So now we just pop it in right. Like so. Come on. There we go. There we go. Popped in. Now we need D1. So That's the red sheet. 13. Ah, down here. Yeah, that's 13. And I notice it actually does dictate which side this goes towards. Looks like it goes like so. And I see why, because this is meant to be... Ooh. Wasn't meant to do that yet. But I know what that is. That's meant to be his, his dusters that he can put over his hand, but... I think it needs a little more before we're supposed to be fiddling with those. So, E1. Back to that. 12. Down here. There we go, got that down. Now, we need 2 pieces from E1, which we'll get in a second, but we need an A piece, A14, which is right here. It's got that ball joint. And then we need E1, 10, and 11. These circular bits over here in the corner. There's 10. Alright, let's just checking messages again. Okay. Go. Alright, so this goes like so. This apparently slides on like so. And then this just goosh. Some flash on that. There we go. And then we just push this in right here. Alright. Don't like that song, so we're gonna jump back over to the lo-fi. Alright, so now we can put this on top of here. And we can make one of 2 hands for it using the B sheet. There is B34 and 35, which is down here. Getting a lot more. There we go. So there is 34 and 35 combined. It's kind of like a pointing finger again, like last time. We're not going to be putting that one on there. Instead, we're going to do B19 and 22, which 19 is right here, 22 is across from it. It only mentions the 2 hands right now, although it does look like the other side might be getting 3. Or there's more just, Alright, so we're gonna just put this punch on there, and I want to do this just to test it. Everything with that seems a bit like stiff, so I'm not sure on that one. But there's his right arm. We're gonna put the pointing hand in the box. After I clean up a little bit of flash on it. Alright. But yeah, pointing hand goes in the box. We're actually going to put it off to the right side now. Alright, so now we get to turn the page. And wouldn't you believe... So, I'm trying to remember how this book was together so that I can get it back at least somewhat to what I had it. But wouldn't you know it, the next thing is the next arm. So it looks like we use, instead of these, we still use C1, but we do not use E1 E2 or E1 D2. We use E2 D2. So first and foremost, 6, 7, and 13, which is here, here, and here. That got a lot more flash than I wanted on it. Six is the back part, so just go ahead and lay it like that. Lay 7 there and pick this back up. Alright. We're gonna do what we usually do when it doesn't want to come off the okay. There we go. That. And similar to what we did last time. Now on the B sheet, instead of 1 through 4, it is 3, 4, which are in the same spots, and then 6 and 7. So we'll start with 3 and 4 over here. Looks like 7's the back piece, so we'll go ahead and pop it first. And then 6. There's 6. Alright. So the next one is going to be like this and like this. Now we need C1, 7. So it's this piece right here. A bit of flash stayed off on that one again. Not as much as last time, but still enough that might want to use. Okay. Same as last time. Then C1, 8, which was right beside it. Now this is the piece that last time had a lot of flash. Yeah, it looks like it has a lot of flash again. Alright, there's that. Then we just set it in and click it into. Both times they didn't click smoothly. Alright. Now D2, 13, which is right here. And again, it's, nope, had it upside down. placed snugly on there. And then E212, that's blue, not. There we go. Next is A14. Which, same spot as last time. And then E2's 10 and 11. Same two circular little pieces. So this time it shows it from this angle. Or from a different angle. It shows it from the angle of E11 being the back half. Then you click that in. Go ahead and grab his top part right there. And he has two hands for this one, both on the B sheet, 36 and 37, which are down here. Another looks like open hand. Which the flash on 36 here is weird. It's got that little bit of extra flash there that's kind of like very flimsy. So, of course, 37's right beside it, and tiny enough we don't want to lose it, so I gotta drop the sheet just to be able to keep a good eye on it. I will. But yeah, another open hand look. So we're gonna throw that one in the box with the other one. And then the other two is 2021, which again, back to back. There are two more sets of hands. It looks like they're gripping hands, so they're probably the ones for the pistols. Just to hazard a wild guess. Alright, and then we put it all together. And so far, here's Gundam Maxter's upper body. Holy cow. Oh. Alright. So next is his two legs. So these are in two separate pieces. And it does look like at some point we do use this sticker sheet again. So we're going to do our usual. C1 will stay there. Grab E1, E2, and put, or yeah, E1, D1, put E1, you know what I mean. The ones with the ones, twos with the twos. So now we need B13. Which, there's a part right down here that it is. There are two of them, one for each leg, so. And it does have like a little half circle in that bit, so we're gonna have to make sure we put this right. So now we need C1 11. This part right here. Okay, so now let me pull this up where I can see it a bit easier. Alright. This is facing down like this when we put it in here. And it goes in. Go. So it looks like it turned a little bit, so we're gonna just kind of turn it back a little. Alright, now we need D1 10 and D1 9. So 10 and 9 are right here. They're the two pieces that my thumb and my forefinger were on. Just kind of pop those two together and then pop this down on top. I will say, I mentioned this I think last time. There's a little bit of extra flash on that one. That's not what I mentioned. I did mention when I was building Rose that in the manga, it seemed like there was maybe upgrades to these guys, and there was. Maxter actually has an upgrade. Rose does as well. Maxter's upgrade is called Max Revolver. And he goes from being more of a boxer type to more of a cowboy type. And his these become more like revolvers. And Rose Gundam actually becomes known as Gundam Versailles. He gets an actual rose on his guard. His one of them shortens. It does look a little bit good. Dragon also has his own version called Gundam Double Dragon, and Bolt has a upgrade called Bolt Crash, which Bolt actually has bolts on his for Bolt. And Double Dragon is kinda. Maxter's was kinda. And of course, they do have infected with DG cells variants, and I would love to see those in more media besides the show. Or, well, no, I don't know. They weren't infected with DG cells in the show. Were they? Where's the infected from DG cells version coming from? Maybe it's it's not a character reference page. They had hyper mode toys, normal toys, knuckle mode kits. Of course, they finally had the P Bandai art for this one on their website. A few different ones. A jungle version. Nice. Huh. It. Oh. Okay. So in the manga, which the manga part is called Superclass Mobile Fighter G Gundam Shinjuku slash Undefeated of the East, it does give him a new design for being infected with DG cells, the Death Gundam slash Dark Gundam. I would love to see that actually one day come to either a model kit or something else. Would love to see it. So now we need C1's 18 and 19. But yeah, looking at just his DG infected version, like these get a little different. His arms look a little different. It's truly a nice looking design change. And I'm curious now because I haven't found a website where Shinjuku Undefeated of the East is translated. I'm curious what Rose, Bolt, and Dragon Gundam look like when they're kind of like that. It makes me wonder. But okay, let's get those clicked in right there on the front of that foot. Now we need an A10 piece. So it's a piece that should have two of them, and it does. It's right here. Now, I don't know. Okay, so it's doing the double part of the legs first, and then afterwards there are individual sections for each leg to make them unique. Alright, so, and this part actually, right here, there are two sections, since there are two parts, there are two different B's that we grab. On this first one, we grab B26. On the second one, we grab B28. So B26 right here. And we grab a piece that is B5. So that would be up here, two of them. Exact duplicate parts. Well, I can hear outside, so if stream cuts off, everyone, I'll probably end for the day if it does, because it is starting to pick up out there. I will say, however, if it does, go to Zombie Pandemic stream. Give her love. Tell her that power went out, and I told her to raid. You got to inadvertently raid without a raid message, and that we were built. That I was building Gundams. So next is B27. And yeah, if power goes out while I'm doing this, I will stop wherever I'm at. So don't worry about missing any parts of this. There's that. So next we need C113, which is, we still haven't got to the part where we put stickers in yet. C113 is right here. Looks like it's gonna be like that. Then we need D1, which if I remember, that's the red pieces. 8. That is, it's this piece right here. Eight and A11 should be another piece that has two. Up here. Alright, so on this, we put this like this, and pop it on right here, it seems. In D8, it mentions it going like so. Now we need C1 12. 12, if I remember correctly, yep, was right beside it. Right beside 13. Should have anticipated I was going to need that one. It looked like a leg piece. Alright, whoop. Picked it up. Alright, so now we just pop that together. Make sure it's snugly together. Put it down. Next we need C1 16. It's this vent one right here. Put it down. And D1 7. Okay, so it's this one right here. Kinda looks a bit weird. And this is the one that needs a sticker. On this side of it, it needs a sticker on... Hold on, let me double check that. Yeah, on this flat part right here, it needs a sticker. So that's interesting. It needs sticker number 4, which is pure black. Oh, because of where it connects in, it's to replicate the black under the vents. Okay. Okay. So, to show what I'm seeing with which flash first. There's a little bit more flash than I'm liking. There we go. Alright. So it pops in right here. And then you can see it through the little windows. It's black. Then you grab this. And this guy, he attaches in right up here. He's the knee guard. And we need a C117 down here. Okay, there was no instructions for not cutting, because it went through something and I was like, Okay, bring this like here, and bring this on top of here. Then we bring this in here and click that in there. And then click that right there. And that's the lower part of the leg. Lower part of one of the legs. Now we gotta do that, all of that again, but instead of with, get rid of all of the ones for the 2 bits. So we need all of these. Alright, so we start again. At the beginning, we'll grab the B sheet first, because one of the B's is there. B13. Where was that again? Over here. It's right here, where my finger is. Oop. Where to go? Oh, there it is. Found it. Uh, put it on Soren's red gem. There. Okay. It tried jumping away from me for a second. Next, C2, which, as you can see, is very much still vibrant with all of its white pieces. There we go. Check the flash on both of those. Yep, did good on that one. And similar to last time, gotta put it in a specific way. Then we just kind of get it pushed down to make sure it's in there fully. There it is, and it's still moved again, but like last time, just kind of have it move over. There we go. Alright, now we need D2 for 9 and 10. The 2 pieces for the feet. No, the bottom of the foot, I should say. But yeah, I would love to see DG invested versions. I would love to see their evolved versions, both as model kits. Shoot, before that, of course I want them to finish the Shuffle Alliance before that, but the other thing I want is the OG Shuffle Alliance. So Black Joker, spades, clubs, diamond, and I want Master Asia's original Shuffle Heart. We've seen it in Build Fighters, and it is currently, like, I think I mentioned it before, that it is in the app game Mobile Fighter, or SD Gundam G Generation Eternal, as a prerequisite build to develop into Shining Gundam. Also, prerequisite for Shining Gundam's a prerequisite for something else. Well, 3 things. 2 of which aren't in the game yet, and 1 that is Gundam Spiegel, also known as Shadow Gundam, which I find interesting, considering series applications. Alright, so let me grab the A sheet first. We need A10 again, which is right here. And we're going to need A11 here in a second, so I'm just going to go ahead and snip both while I'm here. There's A10. There's A11, and I'll put it on top of its sheet spot. So now we need B28, which is right here. B29 and B5, or not B, yeah, B5. So B5 is right here, underneath my pointer. You know, this off-brand lo-fi kind of sounds like Pokemon. There's B5. Now we need B28. And while we're here, we'll go ahead and get B29 and put it on its part of the sheet as well. And put B29 right there. So now we can build this without worry. Oh, a little bit of flash on that one left. I know it's probably gonna get hidden by the second half of this stuff, but it's kind of the weird little quirk in me that it says you can't have, even if it's going to be hidden, the flash has to be there has to be no flash. And I do agree with myself on that. Like, it may be subconscious, but it's like, I kind of agree with the little goblin in my head. Alright, so now we need C2 13, and we might as well grab C2 12. So 12 and 13 right here. That's 12. Put it right there. And 13. And then we need D2 8. And I'm going to hold off on D2 7 just because I didn't grab the other stuff for his. I didn't grab the rest of that, so don't want to completely start jumping the shark on some of these pieces. There's this piece. It goes right here. And then both of these combine. There we go. Now we'll grab D2 7. Which has the sticker. And we'll grab 16 and 17 while we're at it. There's 16, which is in my hand now. And there's 17, which we'll put off to the side. We'll drop 16 for a second while we grab the sticker sheet. Grab number 4. Go here, as per usual. That. Combined up to where the vent shows. Vent. Front of this. Clicked in. Click. And click together. There are now the 2 bottom sections of the legs. So now we're going to get to do individual sections of the legs. So now we go to the right leg. And it looks like we're back to using the 1s. So we'll move these 3 out of my way. Alright, so it looks like it's C1, number 2, which is right here, and number 1, which is right beside it. So we'll go ahead and grab both of those. There's number 2, which is the first part of this right here. And number 1, which is the second part. Now we need 2 pieces from E1, 4 and 5, which I think are the only pieces left on this sheet. They are. Alright, so we're about to use up our first sprue. Okay, so there's 5. There's 4, and there's the first sprue emptied. So, we'll grab the bag, throw it in there with that bit that had come off one of them before. Okay, so we grab all of our pieces, move the pliers out of the way because it poked me, and we just slide this in right here, it looks like, and this goes up like this and slides in on the other side. There we go. Good bit of flash on that one. Go. Fixed up. Then we grab this and line it up and push. Now we just pick a leg, which this one's already on the side that would be right, so there's right. And now we flip over to the left already. So we'll switch out. Oh, no. There's another piece in there. I about missed it. B8 and B30. So B8 is up here. Grab the top one. B8 and then B30 should be right here. Okay. B8 is the back part of this. Oh, okay. So it shows this going in like so. Oh, messed that up. Hold on. See if I can fix this without having to pull it apart. There we go. Fixed. Then we grab this one, and it goes in right. There we go. So there's the right leg. Now for the left leg, which, as I was showing, oh, no, we still use C1. We just use E2 for it. Okay. We didn't even use the D sheet, so I'll just leave D1 over here. E2 still has more on it, so it's not the exact last bit for E2. But it is close. It is very close. If it wasn't for that big surfboard piece, this would be done. So C1, 4, and 3 are used in this next two, so we'll just go ahead and snip both. 4 is the first one used. Put that beside those pieces and drop that over there. C1, C1 is almost bare as a sheet. Alright, so now, did it again. Lots of flash. It would have made it to where it was impossible to push that in. There it is. And I do find it I still do find it scummy from last time about Bandai only putting some of these model kits out on P Bandai. But here's the thing, I also bought mine off of I'll I'll be truthful, I bought mine off of eBay. So I can't really say much. I wanted them so bad that I gave in to basically scalpers. Alright, so next is the Bs again, B8 and 30. And to me, a lot of people on eBay could be scalpers, but there's also the people that are just genuine hobbyists. And the person I bought this from, considering they were making a deal for all three, and they had the Death Beast, I just didn't buy it. I could say they're a hobbyist. They're someone who enjoys the hobby. But at the same time, you can enjoy the hobby and still hurt it. Alright, so that's the two legs. Now for the waist. Looks like we start with A18. Alright, this is big giant piece down here. Alright, and then B23. Ah, right underneath my thumb. Apparently the next piece after this, which is a C2 piece, it says tightly fit as far as they will go. So, I'm gonna need to make sure on this. Okay, so this is the way that it has me facing. Oh. I was wondering, I was like, how is it not sticking in there? Okay, that was why. So now I need C2, which is another white, and I need 21, which is this piece right here. I don't see any other. Okay, so this one, it says to connect in as far as it'll go. Okay, that one is on there. So next we need C220, which is right here. And then C222, which is right here as well. This one's actually got some thicker supports again, so it's liable to have flash. Okay, nope. Still some stuff on there, but not too much. And then I need D1 for a number 1. Alright, up here in the corner. So this is the next 2 steps. So it looks like, well, it's the next 3, because you're combining these 2. And then, oh, it does say you cut these. Okay, so you cut this apart. It shows them as circular, so I'm assuming that little bit of flash in the middle can go away. And then these get attached in here. And this gets attached to the front here. Okay. Now we go in and attach here and here. So we've got the waist on him. And now let's flare his arms out a bit. There's Neo. There's Maxter. Alright, so next is the core lander, which uses D2 to start. Now I'm just gonna start putting parts in piles because we're using. Alright, so D2 17 and 15, which are most of the sheet. There's only one other piece, which is 16, which we'll probably use here in a second anyways. Alright, so 17, be gentle with it. Then let's get 15 here. Put 15 down, because 17 has sticker. Number 5 here, which is a green glass tint. And it's one of the wraps. So I've got to be very kind of gentle at the same time as like precise. Might be off a little bit, but it gives it character. I was gonna say flavor. No, character. So now, I think we put it in like so when it goes back to here. Yeah, looks good to me. Alright, so I knew it was gonna pop the minute I did that, so that's why I was just like, eh. Hold on, I'm getting the instructions moved around. Alright, and like I thought, D216. So that will be this last piece, this last red piece. And that is everything on that sprue. So we'll add it to the bag of dead sprues. That's one red, one blue. Still off-centered, that sticker. Jeez. Okay. So line them up, click it into place. Now that'll stop going all over the place. Now, on the back here, we need one from each of the C1 and C2. So we'll grab both of them and bring them to the forefront. number 15. So it's right here. It's a little bit of an kind of a curved piece. So C1's goes on here, and C2's will go on the other spot. And similarly, they're both only still have 14 left, which we're going to be using here in a second. So apparently, the rest of the stickers are put on this thing still. So go ahead and get both of the 14s, because they are part of one of the things that get stickers. And we'll just move the white sprues over to the junk pile as we're going. Okay, so this is C2, so this is this side, this is that side. Okay, so, and it even says apply sticker before assembly. So it says the sticker is number 8, which there are 2 of them, and it's these red ones. Let's see, let me look at this again. Okay, I see how it's meant to go. It's a bit weird. Especially because it doesn't show it folding except on the instructions. There we go. Yeah, this guide usually, the stickers usually show like a cut or something. Nah, it just wraps. Then this one goes right here. And the second one there we go. Red sticker on. And we now place it in its spot. Right there. And then you flip this, and there are 2 more stickers that go on this thing. They're the 2 yellow stickers, and they go, it's very hard to see, but there are 2 little bits right here and right here that they go on. So I'm gonna put them on there, and then I'm gonna show, because yeah, these are a bit harder to do. I'll show the first one after I get it. Uh-oh. Part of the head unit of the thing moved. And now I can't get it to... Uh-oh. Come on. Go back down there. I can't get it to go back down. Oh, I might have to take it apart. There's the yellow sticker. Okay. We're gonna take this slowly back apart. If I can. Because some of these pieces don't look like they want to come out. Okay, there's those two. There's that one. Kind of just gotta wiggle it and hope it works. Because, yeah, the way that's working, that's not gonna... There's also that other method of... You have tweezers. Might be able to use them to pry. Just gotta be gentle when you're prying. Now this is the hardest part because that is meant to be against the back. Wondering if I can just move it now and it'll... Oh! Hey, it popped it open. There we go. Alright, before we do any of that, now that it's told me that there are stickers on this front part, we're going to put those stickers on. Thanks for not telling me until after I put other pieces in it. There. The two yellow stickers are on there. Oh, they were annoying. Alright, now to get this back together. You've already seen me do it once, so I'm not going to show it again. I'm going to try not to move. Okay, so we're down here. Just got a message or a notification. Man, there is so much. Okay. I think, yeah, I'm good now. Alright, got it back together. Now we're going to go ahead and put it in Max. Put it to where it's connected to Maxter. So, there we go. And there is his core lander. Stickers are done. so their little sheet can go in the trash as well. Now I didn't put the white sprues in the bag yet, so we now get to do that. There we go. Whew. So next is the action base. Looks like it's skipping right to the base. So we need this big sheet. We need 22, 23. Move Maxter over here. '22 and 23 right here. This is going to be similar to Rose's base. I'm assuming each one has their own colored base. So there's 22, 23. This one was 22, so this is going to be on the... It's going to be back, this is going to be the front. We also need 18 and 17. Here we go. So 17 is these two similar parts down towards the bottom. They kind of look like pinwheels. Or kind of look like gear tops. So gear top. And 18 is right below it, which there are cuttable bits on it. It's that piece right there. So I'm going to get that a little closer so I can see it. Because there are parts you can just accidentally cut off. And with this being a red clear-ish plastic, I'd prefer not to mess it up. Okay. So now we grab the back, which is 22. Slot that bad boy in there. Oh, there it is. Slot that bad boy in there. Put that bad boy in there. And put it together. Go ahead and just do that so it's locked in for now. Then we need both 17 and 18 again. And yeah, I just cut 18s out without... Okay, I see where it went. It's right below Maxter. It's right below his foot. So now we need 24, 25, which are these two right here. Alright, the one I just dropped was 24, which seems to be the top part, so we go with this. Similar to last time. It wants us to have this at an angle. So we're gonna angle it, pre-angle it, and then we click. Last time it clicked. There we go. Click. And put that like there. And of course there's the spacers, which is 5, 6, and 7 on this, which boom, boom, boom. We're going to cut out all 3 because we don't know which spacer we're going to need for Maxter when we put him on his base and we put him in his pose, because we're going to try to do the Hurricane Punch pose. Or something at least similar. For now, we're going to put it on the medium. So there's that. The other 2 will go in the box. Alright, next up, I can actually put the tweezers away, or I should be able to. We will see if I need them back here shortly. Next up is, of course, the base station, which we'll go ahead and clip both of these pieces, because not only is the base going to be needed, but the connector port is going to be importante for going into Dragon later, when we go to build Dragon. Because yeah, like I said, I'm going to connect them in tandem. So weirdly enough, I don't know what Black's is going to be, or, well, Bolt's is going to be. I'm assuming maybe a black clear, because it seems to be going off of a color scheme that is very reminiscent of the one that it's based off of. In this instance, Maxter has a good bit more red than some of the others. For this one right here. And similarly to last time, I do notice there's a lot, and I do mean a lot of, oh, and we need 13 as well, which is right here beside it. There is a lot, and I do mean a lot, of excess pieces. So of course, slap that down in there, slap that down in there, and slap this up here. And now if we want to, while we're doing the rest of this, we can have, oh, might have put that on wrong. Hold on. Was that 13? Swore it said 13. It does. And I did click 13s. That's odd. Let me just get this a bit closer where I can see it. Ah, there we go. So for now, just generic pose, as we did with Rose. Let's see. It is like so. Yeah, because he's going to show up on the right side. Alright, so now we get to build his weapons, his excessives. Okay, so first is A21 and 22 down here. And these are going to be his magnums. So 21. 22. Put them together. And we ain't even done yet. It looks like we'd almost already be done. But the hands for these are meant for these, so it is 18 and 15 here and here. And I will say, I said it last time again, I do not condone the twist method that I do if you are a first time builder. I figured it out much later. After I was after I had seasoned myself with a few model kits. There we go. There's his first pistol. Now, these can also be put on his side, so you might not want to put them in his hand. I was actually, funny enough, when I go to... Okay, so this was where I folded previously. Yeah, I'm going to move the instructions off to my left side. I'm actually going to put these on him, so while we do have the hands, I'm also just going to put the hands in. And funny enough, we can go ahead and show where this one will go. So this one will go on his right side, right there. And we'll go ahead and move his arm a little bit for the next one. So we need a 24 and 25, which is again the pistils up here. I have heard from a few other people that love Gundam models that they would love to see Tequila Gundam, or also, as the Japanese call them, I think it's Scud Gundam. I would, as well, love to see him. His manga counterpart, which is still called Tequila Gundam, is very much loved by me. Okay, so 16 and 17 on B is the other two hands needed for this. 14B. Wasn't B14 used at one point? Hold on. Wasn't B14 used at one point? I thought it was used. Am I going crazy? I'm now going through all of the pieces looking, because I swore B14, because B14's a huge piece. That's why I'm like, I swore it was used already. But no, it's still on that sheet. Huh. I guess not. Oh, okay, so there are parts not needed. 14 is a not needed part. Okay. There is several that are on the B sheet that are not needed. Okay. Okay. Whew. Alright, 16, 17. So these two right here. Before Dragon gets built, I'll look to see if I've got a lamp around that I can bring a bit closer. Because stream may show it like it's a bit bright, but in all actuality, some of the pieces I am actually having a little bit hard time with. The light's not as bright as it seems. No. Okay, so next is building his, I guess, shield surfboard. So we need E2, which this is the last one on E2. Yep, that's everything on E2. Just making sure of that before I put it in the bag. And then A2. Looks like there are some pieces on A2 it says not to cut. A2 right here. It's a gold. And I see what it means. Alright. There are some very tiny, or well, they're not so tiny, but just hard to see maybe on camera, pieces that are okay. So then I bring this like this, put it like so. Oh, here we go. There we go. And then next is to have A13, which is a little handle. Ah, here it is. It's right in the middle, right underneath my middle finger. And it does say, I think that just jumped off the desk. And it does say A9 at this point, which we're going to go ahead and cut. But I've got to, there we go. Put that there, and I'm going to grab my pen light to look for the piece real quick. Make sure it didn't, no, it's not on the desk, so it's on the floor. Where did you jump to? That's the fun part. Where did you jump to? I'm not trying to move my chair too much, because it could be right underneath it. It's liable to be right underneath it. Alright, so. I still don't see it. Okay, hold on a minute. We're going part hunting. Move my chair as far as I can. Alright. Where did you go? Down here. Alright. So, I'm gonna take the mic headphones, kind of put them up on the monitor for a minute while I'm sitting down here looking for this piece. So, you might still hear me, you might not. Just give me a few. Never mind. I'm blind as a bat. I'm blinder than a bat. Pretty sure Zombie would have seen that. Oh boy. Yeah. I was wondering why I couldn't see it on the ground. I just happened to look back up and See it sitting there on my desk. Right there. Right beside the blue piece. Alright. Another fun part. Just getting everything back to where it was. Alright. So I have now got my chair back. Give me 1 second while I get back to my desk. Well, chair was back for the most part. I think it's... There we go. Got it back in its spot. Because it does have a spot. Alright, so this goes into this piece. You want, because there's a little curve to be pointed down. Problem is I don't know which way's down for this thing. Ah, I see. There are 2 pokes. That is the top. So it needs to be pointed like that. And then this is pointed like so. Let's pop that together. And there's a few more things to go on the front. As I said, it is both a shield and his surfboard, so there's a few other things. A5 right here. Let's move Maxter a little out of the way. A5. Which goes down here. Connected in right there. We're just going to go ahead and flip this down since, like I said, it is his hoverboard and all that. D1 has its last piece, number 2, which has to go on before this next piece. So, sequencing and flipping things in the air. Okay. But that is another sprue done. So, let me move, because I had to move the box a little bit. The bag that all those sprues are in is kind of cramped, so I'll grab a bigger bag to throw this one in. And to throw all of the other sprues into as well. Because, yeah, that first bag was one of the smaller ones, so it was a bit cramped. There we go. But yeah, this goes on right here. And then, if you didn't hazard a guess, the other green piece, yeah, if you got special colored pieces, they're going to be used. Alright. Put that firmly in there. Then you can use it as his, like I said, can use it as his shield if you have this out, which now I've gotten it to where I can't flip it out. Yeah, if it's like this, you can have him hold it as a shield, or in the case of this, we have 2 more pieces. The 8 right here. These go on the feet to make it a hoverboard. And yeah, we're going to give him a dual thing for this. We're going to have him hoverboarding when he does his hurricane shot. Yep, and that's another sheet though. The A sheet is completely empty. And it was the sheet that I was hoping would empty by the end of it. And it's also the one from that bag I just ported all those sprues into, so good that we kind of switched over. Though the rest of the sprues aren't kind of letting it in. Well, guess I am putting them between multiple bags. Let's see if there's another bag. That one looks decently big. There we go. Might not be the original bag for it, but oh well. Alright, so we're going to switch Maxter around a little bit already. Let's go ahead and get him off of the base. And when you want to put it in there, the issue becomes you got to get this gem out. And I kind of just wedged it in there. So where are my tweezers? Well, I at least want to show off that he can do it. Okay. You gotta be kidding me. Good lord. I wedged it in there. There we go. So then, if you want him to be surfing, you just attach it right there. You put these little guys. There we go. Kind of get them on there to where they can stand. They're not really good fits, I'll say. They're just kind of meant to, like, you just put his shoe through, push it through, and then it kind of just more or less sits there. And then kind of attach his feet into the grooves. So in this case, see, these things like popping up on me. Yeah, we're not going to use... I thought I was going to use the surfboard. Actually, I might still. Hold on. Might figure this out real quick. Just kind of put that there. Come on, get back on the foot. There we go. So now we got him kind of... I'm gonna barely tilt this. Ooh, yeah. He's already starting to come off on one side. See it. He just kind of hang 10. Now I'm... Oh, I already have... That explains why the chest piece isn't wanting to stay. Yeah, we're not gonna do the stuff with his surfboard. We are gonna do boxer mode though, for because it looks like you can do the hurricane punch move with boxer mode. So funny. So we are gonna put the gem back in the shield as soon as I get that off there. Alright, just go ahead and pop this back in there. And we'll keep the feet separate, but shield. So, funny thing, when I push them fully in, that's why this thing doesn't want to stay on. Because, let me just get off there. That wasn't what I meant. Okay, that wasn't what I meant either. I meant you get out of there. Okay, so we got that back. Let me try to reconstruct his arm real quick. When I pushed these all the way in, I put him in boxer mode already. These are supposed to be pushed out a little bit. I was wondering, I'll go ahead and... I just popped the booster off on this arm. So, yeah, apparently these actually are supposed to, okay, gonna remove his head for a second so I can get in there and check with these. Yeah, apparently these slide in a bit more than you're supposed to. So this is actually supposed to have like a small like resting spot for two little things at the top, and I didn't have them because I already had him pre-put into boxer mode. Which is both embarrassing and hilarious at the same time. So that was this arm. I'm just gonna throw them near their arms real quick. Put his head back on. Because we are gonna take everything off when we do this. So when you do his arms, which, let me make sure which one's which. This is the right one. Pull it forward. And then you just... pull this down over himself. So this is if you want to do just base boxer mode, not with the gloves. You pull it out. Come on. The other side was because I already played with it. This side is being a bit finicky. Come on. And then you just spin it, and it goes over his hand. And then, because you've taken off his armor and everything. Alright, making sure his arm's back in place. You've got base boxer mode. But what we want is the special gauntlets on his hands. So those are by, looks like, right, the way it shows it, it looks like it does say, okay, so it looks like the Hurricane, which it does show getting cut, getting beat, or being out now. Oh no, this has to be without the boxing gloves. Okay. So we'll probably have this on his right hand. I don't know why they show it on his left, but it looks like you can have the boxing gloves up around it. But when you do put the boxing gloves on, it looks like you're meant to fold the piece that holds it onto his arm in, and then it slots in. That is still not supposed to come off. Okay. It goes in. Yeah, you don't have to take a hand off. Goes in, slots in right there. There's a little notch in that. And then when you do it, you push these down. That way it's now a boxing glove. Which, that's kind of cool. But there's apparently a little bit more with this. So I'm gonna take the boxing glove back off. And it looks like it needs it to have this pointed back down again. So we'll do that. Of course, we'll have this get put on one of his hands here shortly. Okay, so there is... Okay, so there are pieces that can come off of him as part of a weird, like, tripod setup. Okay, so let me look at the pieces it mentions. So it mentions F2, which is this color piece. So we're just gonna... No, we shouldn't cut just yet. So 3. Oh, well, the 2 of them are called 2s, and then one's called a 3, so looks like I can just cut them all out and check what they do. So there's that one, and then the 2s are the 2 from the top and the bottom, which is that one. Again, brought it real close so I could see, and that one. So another sprue done. We'll drop it in the thing of dead sprues. So apparently, when you do this other interaction thing, you take off these parts, and you take off a few other parts to be like a weird, like, down to almost nothing boxer. So this piece, it says, has... Oh, wait, no. Goes here. That clear bit has sprue on it. It has flash. Okay. So it does a weird, like, thing where it goes behind it. This is certainly a different one. I don't know about this one. And then this one, which goes in right here. Apparently this is going to go behind him. So we might go ahead and forwardly change this to be a bit... I'm thinking a bit higher. So a little bit, do that tilt, but this kind of tilting, so kind of a bit higher up for him. There we go. He'll be forward a little more on it, so I gotta change the top one too. Alright, there's that. And then apparently this will be right behind him. Or it's meant to be in front of him. Really? I like the idea that it's off to like the back sector. So Rose is gonna be over here, so I'm gonna try to like match a little bit of Rose's energy. So these, okay, so it actually shows taking off this, the knee guard, and the things down here for these. I'm just gonna pull it off in one hit. So shows the boxing gloves actually going on these. The knee guard goes on right here. Boxing glove is meant to be up here. They actually suggest to tilt these down. And then this is suggested to be down, or is said to be down here. And it does actually show these off to the side. Again, Rose is going to be on this side, so I'm kind of trying to like, might have to move where, I think I had to move where this is. I might have to really move this one to match up with the ideas. Okay. Like, might have to do a weird kind of like might actually have to grab the small, the really like small one to do this one. Okay, there's that. Then okay, that spot that I just tried putting it into is not okay there. And then this one, similar to the other one, you put it here. Nope, this way. Tilt that. Grab that off of there. Place that there. Grab this off of here. This is definitely a bring him down to bare knuckles. I'm gonna put that one over here. It says you should have them to where they're pointed like differently towards him, but I'm thinking like this. On either side of him, and then him in the middle. Yeah, this is now the hard part, getting him back on here while holding all of these other pieces from. So one of the poses they show is him doing his hurricane from like a jump pose, kind of. Weirdly, it shows him doing the like, okay, so this, okay, so you do have to have these popped out and over the hands to use the purple. Goes on like so. Oh, I didn't get it to go on there. Goes on like so. Okay, I will pull that arm off if I have to. And I will. Okay, so it has to go specific way, I think. There we go. And then we'll put his other side. Always have the left ready to throw a haymaker. Now there is a few other parts that it shows. I actually don't know where these parts are. Like, I legit don't have these parts. Oh no, it says you can combine some of the other parts. You can combine one of these parts that has the gauntlets on them with another piece that I haven't built yet, which I'll build it now. It is a combination of 21 right here. And 28 and 29, which, oh, that's why that wasn't, it wasn't coming off. 28 and 29 are these two pieces right here. You can use it as kind of a projectile if you combine it with one of the other wavy bits. So let me just go on here. One of them, I should know this just without even looking at the guide. One side has this, one side has this. There. Yeah, you can take the backpack off him anytime you want. But yeah, that's everything. So, so of course like I said, there was a bunch of stuff not used. We always keep extra parts, and we keep let me just dump all the extra parts that were in the box out. So we've got all this stuff excess. Okay, we will move the clippers real quick. Where's the cap for our tweezers? Now we will put the excess parts, or well, put the instruction guide in there first, and the excess hands, the pieces to put him on the surfboard / shield, which we're just gonna leave in there. I would love to put it on him, but if he's in boxer mode, he's not using it. So that is Gundam Maxter. However, while the box is getting shut, we're not done. Because I'm going to take him and we're going to connect his base up with Rose and get a good shot of both of them together. Alright. So, let me just adjust some things. Alright. Now, is everyone ready to see Rose and Maxter? And there we... Hold on a second. I know, I moved everything a little too fast, everyone. Have to go fix some things first. Horizontal flip. Vertical flip. Okay. Alright. And there is Gundam Rose and Gundam Maxter. There's my... Of course, there's RG Shining, a Mewtwo model kit I got, and a Bardock statue I got, but there is Rose and Maxter together. Looking good. So, we're going to redo our flips because, yeah, my camera has to flip to be able to do what I do. Okay. Alright. Got it back on Soren. So, like I said, that was Gundam Maxter. Took about same length of time as Gundam Rose, 3 hours, which I didn't doubt that he would. He was about the same size box. This was, like I said, Neo America. Last one was Neo France. Next time, though, next time that we do a Gundam, we are doing the third of the P Bandais that we got. Neo China's Dragon Gundam in this beautiful green box. This kit is a good bit bigger, so this may take 2 sessions. I'm not sure. But, let me put Maxter off to the side. That is where we will call it. Move the bits that I'm going to be throwing away here shortly. So, YouTube, as per usual, you are going to be left to your own devices. Twitch, on the other hand, as per usual, we are going to send you off. In this instance, let me see if... We are going to send you over to, let me see if Miss, we're going to see if Miss Pandemic, Miss Zombie, is currently running. Let's see, go for my raid thing. Let's see, is she? She is, and she's playing Doom the Dark Ages. Alright. So, we're going to go ahead and start that raid up. Twitch, you know what to do. Get in on the raid. Go to Zombies page. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I should be back again on Saturday, unless I need to get things ready for an event this weekend. But until then, take it easy, everyone.